Okay, guys, so let's finish this exercise. Now that we know the approximate position of the neutral line, which is around 3.7 inches, let's calculate the size of the compressive stress block, which is beta 1 times C, 0.85 multiplied by 3.7. This is going to be around 3.14 inches. Okay, so the next two steps, they're simple. As we said, we need to confirm, first of all, if the reinforcement is yielding. We do that by the same equation that we calculated the strain and the tension reinforcement. So it's simple. D, we know it's 17.5. C, we just calculated 3.7 divided by 3.7. And the ultimate strain of compressive concrete. So it's 17.5 minus 3.7 divided by 3.7. This times 0.003. So this is around 0.0111. So it's around 11 per thousand. Okay, so since this is bigger than the yielding strain that we calculated previously, 2.06 per thousand, if this section is okay, we know it's ductile, right? If the section would not be ductile, we would have to change again the parameters of the cross section. So either the depth of the section, the width, the concrete strength, the areas of reinforcements, or even the arrangements of rebars, right? So this has to change. The last part here is to determine the nominal flexure strength. Knowing that the section is ductile, we can jump straight to this. So the nominal strength, as we talked, is the forces in the compressive section times its lever arm, all right, towards the tension reinforcement. CS, we calculated equals to CS 58.4. So 58.44. And C, oh, I think I did it wrong. What? I got it. I think I got it wrong. CSCC, here's CC. Sorry, guys. My spelling error, CC. All right, CC. No, this is actually wrong. I think I put it wrong here. Yeah, it's the opposite. CS times D minus D line. Sorry, guys, my bad. Because D minus D line is the lever arm of the reinforcing steel, all right, whenever it's in compression. And this one is for the stress block, which is the concrete. Got it. CC. This is why it's always good to check. So this one is 58.44. CS 58.44. And the other one, CS, is 128, 316. 128, 316. All right. And the size of the compressive block strain is 3.145. Perfect. Just remembering, don't forget about the units. So this guy is in kip, and these guys inside are in inches. So the value of the bending moment here is going to be kips per inch, okay? And then we have to check for kip per foot, and we do that by divided by 12. Let's do the hand calculations here. 128.316 times 17.5 minus 3.145 divided by 2. then we add 58.44 times 17.5 minus 2.5. Perfect. I think so. Divided. Is that it? 2047, 64. Oh, I see what I did wrong. No, this is not right here. Here I put it divided, but it's multiply. Let's do it again. Sorry guys, it's just too difficult to do this scientific calculator here on the computer. Usually I have my hand calculator, which is way better. But I need to show you guys how I'm doing the calculations. All right, plus 58.44 times, this is what I missed, 17.5 minus 2.5. Perfect. Right, so 29,000 and 20.35. I'll also divide this by 12 so we can have in feet 243.36. Right. So as you can see from the previous lesson, the bending moment was very approximately similar to this, right? For the single reinforced one, it was around 238. 238, the simply reinforced beam. So as you can see here, the change in bending capacity is not big at all. It's very small actually. So there are some designers or some professors that they might say, no, if there is a problem with the bending moment, just add compressive reinforcement. This is such a bullshit. I wanted to show you guys this exercise exactly because of this. What we can tell for sure what happened of difference is the position um, of the neutral x. That changed a lot, right? And that increased a lot of the deformation on the steel. If you remember, the yielding of the simplest reported beam was actually 6.7 per thousand, and this one is almost 12 per thousand. So we, by adding one layer of three reinforcements in this section, we actually made the section twice as ductile. All right. So that's the main idea that you should get from this exercise. Also, something that I want to show you guys is the design of the same beam using the Excel spreadsheet, which you can be purchasing this. Just send me an email. I'm going to put information below. But this is the same. The process is extremely similar. We're gonna put the information of the section, so it's a section 12 by 20 by 12 for 1,000 psi, and the number of bars on the top reinforcement, on the bottom reinforcement, sorry, it's number 8, 4 bars. The steel is 60 psi, and the number of bars is on the top reinforcement is 8 and 3. Okay. So as you can see here, what this Excel sheet does is you have to select a value of C, right? The Excel sheet will not calculate it for you, but I will teach you some tricks here. So for example, the first one, we started doing 4.5. And as I can see here, the equilibrium was not reached. The T-force is 188.50, while the compressive components are bigger. So we would have to decrease, let's say now 4. We still did not reach. Let's try 3.7. Oh, it's almost perfect. As you can see, it gives us exactly the results that we talked previously, but it didn't give me precisely the equation. So let's pretend that you're trying hard. Let's go 3.75. No, still didn't make it. 3.73. Almost there. 3. 3.72, almost perfect, as you can see. So the change was minimal, as you can see, right? So you don't have to spend a lot of your energy with interactions trying to reach for the value. You can also do a trick. You can use the command goal seek. So you go into data, and then I'm going to select this value to change based on this one. I'll go to hypothesis analysis, and then I'm going to uh, try the tool goal seek. In Portuguese, it means to hit a target. I'll click there, and then I'm going to define the cell that I want to change, this one. And I want to define the cell that will have numbers input, so this one will reach the target value of t, which is 188.50 in this example. I'll click OK. There it is. So it reached the solution here. It's around 3.272. Okay, so this was the precise solution, all right, for this example. So in order for you to not spend too much time, you can do this, all right? Let's try another example from here. Let's pretend that we want to design, for example, let's try to design something even bigger. Let's have the Excel spreadsheet to check the moment capacity for, let's say, 60 inches. Let's call it a girder, 60 inches by 30 inches. And let's use here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number. Which number should we get? Let's use number 10s, okay? 5 number 10s. And then we'll do the same thing, the same calculations with 4 number 9s to see what would do the difference. Let's go to the Excel sheets. Let's see 60 by 30. Let's maintain the same properties of materials. Number of bores, we select number 10s, and we're gonna get 5. All right, so look at the bending moment, 1,757. Let's do for simple supported again, which was 30 by 60. 60 by 30. Let's maintain the number of bars in the tension bars, 10, here's 5. And here we want to do number 9s and 4. All right, let's see. Instead of having me calculate this forever, again, let's just hit the targets. I'll click here, data, goal seek. I want to vary this one and this one. And I want, oh, why? So sorry, guys. Again, hypothesis, hit the target. I want to find this cell, I want to vary this one, and I want to reach the value 380.03, the value of t. I'll click OK. All right, so we got it. So the section is around 3.54, and it yields, all right? So that was the difference. So 7,062, and here was 7,057. This is one of the reasons why we usually, whenever we assess buildings, we usually just tend to calculate simple supported beams. Whenever you are design, on the other hand, you have to remember the advantage of putting compressive steel. Okay, so guys, thank you for seeing these videos. I hope you liked it, this series. If you have questions, just let me know in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions, like Yuri, can you do the design of T-sections of columns, or punch and shear, or slabs, or design of beams for shear, and etc. Just let me know in the comments to see what you guys would like to see. All right. Until next video, thank you. If you like, please like, comment, or subscribe.